All right, so welcome to Strong and Steady, and I'm Molly. So today we're going to start out right here in this space that we have, and then we're going to go to the wall in just a minute. So first we're going to mobilize our joints. So start with your feet a little wider than your hips, and we're just going to do small hip circles. So you just shift your weight. At first you're going nice and small, getting the weight going over your feet, over your ankles. And gradually make them a little bigger and then include the hips. So now you're actually kind of hinging forward, pushing forward, rolling to the side. All right, let's do about 2 more of those. And now go ahead and stop. And then you're going to go the other way. Start small, going the other way, just rolling over the ankles. And then gradually start to make that a little bigger. So we're mobilizing our hips and our ankles. And let's do 2 more. Good. 1 more big one. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and situate our weight right over our feet and then pull your feet in just under the hips. So they're about maybe 3 to 6 inches apart, depending on how wide you feel that your hips are. So you're going to stand up nice and tall, feet anchored to the ground. And now we're going to go ahead and mobilize our shoulders just a little bit by rolling 1 shoulder at a time, up and around. I want you to just do it nice and slow and gradually just get it a little higher each time, alternating sides. All right, now we're going to go the other way. So take your shoulder and roll it forward and down, forward. 1 more time each side. Good, and last one. All right, so now both shoulders roll back, up and down. We're going to do 1 more of those, up and around, and now settle your arms down right here. So your shoulder blades are kind of pulling down away from your ears, pulling towards each other and back, palms facing forward. And let's take in a nice big deep breath and reaching up, inhaling as we go up. Look up if you can. Now exhale, bring your arms all the way down the first time. And we're going to do it again. Inhale, reach up, all the way up, as tall as you can get. Look up a little bit. Now when you exhale, bring your arms down halfway. So you're going to be at your goal post. Now from the goal post, we're going to squeeze those shoulders back towards each other and then kind of down slightly. So you're trying to pull those scapula in your back down. Like if you look at my hands, they kind of roll down like that. So that's the goal. Now let's take in another nice big deep breath. Reach up. And pull down 1 more time. Really think about squeezing and pulling those scapula down and back. All right, good. Now go ahead and straighten out your arms, nice and straight. Extend those fingertips. Think about pulling your arm bone in towards your chest. So in towards your ribs. You pull the arm bones in while extending your fingers. Now press your arm bones out. So it's just a little micro movement. You're pulling the arm bones in towards your shoulders, now extending them out. Okay, 1 more time, pull it in and press it out. Good, and bring your arms down, shake it out. Okay, good job. We got things a little bit warmed up. Now we're going to take our feet wide again, and we're going to go through what would be shifting the weight side to side. So you just shift the weight over to one side, bending slightly through that knee, coming back through center, shift to the other side. We're just going to repeat that side to side. And you can take your feet as wide as you feel comfortable. I like to do these just a little bit wider. So I'm going to scoot my foot out and we're just shifting the weight. Now let's add a little bit of the upper body by getting nice and tall through the core and then taking your arms up. You're going to have them right out front and then you're going to pull 1 elbow, straighten out the other arm. And then you're going to come back. It's like we're doing a bow and arrow. Pull back. And we're just repeating this all on one side to begin with. Let's do 4 more. Pull it back. 3, 2. Okay, let's do 1 more. And hands back to the hips. Now we're going to go to the other side. Sink and come up. Sink. Now let's add those arms. Bring your arms out. Pull 1 arm back and reach. Pull it back and reach. Let's do 3 more. Pull and reach. 2 and reach. 1 more. All right, now let's see if we can alternate sides. Bring your hands to the center, go to the first side, come back to the center, back to the other side. All right, let's make these a little bigger. If it feels comfortable for you, you could even bring your arms up A little bit higher, pulling down. Now I want you to think about the sensation in that arm that's bending through the elbow, about pulling that elbow down and back, just like we did on the warm-up. Let's do 3 more, and 2, 1 more, and last one. Arms up. Let's make a big star. Take a big deep breath in, reach up, and exhale, arms come down. Good, let's shake that out. And now we're gonna go visit the wall. So we're gonna come to the wall, and we're gonna build on what we've been doing. So you're gonna have your feet anywhere from 8 to 12 inches, maybe a little further from the wall if you have super strong legs. Because the further your feet are out from the wall, the more you get to bend through the knees. The key is you don't want your knees to pass out past your ankles. So in other words, you don't want your knees out here. You want your knees back above or behind the ankles, and your feet are hip width distance apart. So let's all get our sacrum, low back, pushed into the wall, and then do a little extra work here by doing a pelvic tilt. So you're tilting your pelvis up this way, which makes your low back flat to the wall. That will engage your abdominal muscles right through here. So we're gonna get those abdominal muscles all fired up. And then at the same time, see if you can get your shoulders back just a little bit closer to the wall. And for some of you, your head may actually come to the wall. If not, you just work towards getting your head on the wall, keeping your chin level to the floor. And once you're here, let's just go ahead and bring those arms out at a 90-degree angle, elbows pressed up into the wall. And then we're gonna revisit our low back. Make sure it's pressed in. You're doing those abdominal crunches when you're pressing your low back in. All right, now let's go ahead and press just a little bit with the elbow, pressing the elbow in. And maybe about 30% of your strength, press a little harder. Don't forget to breathe, nice big deep breaths. All right, now press a little harder. Now maybe at 50% of your strength, pressing into that wall, keeping your low back on the wall. All right, let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let your arms come down. Give them a little break. And then elbows are going to go back to the wall. Low back is pressing into the wall. Now we're going to put a little bit of pressure on the elbows. Then you're going to open your hands out to the side. Let's see if you can get the backs of your hands close to the wall. If you can't touch the wall, it's okay. Just attempt. Now that you're attempting to put the hands on the wall, revisit your low back. Make sure it's still pressing into the wall. Now this is going to be working a lot of muscles in the core, abs, upper back. So your hands are pressing back. Now press your hands out to the side like you're making a T. Keeping those hands as close to the wall as you can get them. And now that they're out to the side, you may actually be able to get the backs of your hands on the wall a little bit more comfortably. Taking a nice big deep breath. Extend those fingertips just like we did when we were standing up. Now exhale and bring your elbows down into a wide W. And again, taking a nice big deep breath. Extend out to the side. And exhale, bring them back in. Nice wide W, pulling those elbows in by your side. Keeping your low back on the wall. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, bring them in. All right, we're gonna do one more. Reach out, inhale. Exhale, bring them in. Good, all right. Go ahead and bring your hands down by your side. And if your feet are a long ways from the wall, you can always walk your feet back up. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get those feet just close enough that you can come up tall so that you're basically in a nice stiff position from the heel all the way up to the shoulder or the crown of the head. And then place your hands on the wall. So your hands are going to be on the wall and you're going to be in a nice stiff plank. And then bend your elbows 90 degrees. Now we're going to turn on those muscles and really work some back muscles that are your support muscles for your posture. So while you're in this position, it's like you're in a reverse plank. Then you push yourself away from the wall slightly. And it might only be an inch, but that's okay. You're just pressing those elbows in, pressing yourself away from the wall slightly. Come back in. Let's do a couple more. Press away. Come in. I want you to focus on engaging through your core and pressing on those elbows. And keep going. Let's do 2 more. Press out, bring it in. Press out and bring it in. Good, go ahead and let your back rest on the wall, shake your arms out, hands to the wall, and hinge forward, press yourself forward, and then come on up. All right, so let's come back to this center space here where we started, and we're going to take those feet wide, just like we started earlier. And be as wide as you like. You can go a little wider than you started, or you can start with just your feet a little wider than your hips. But we're going to shift the weight again from side to side. So get that sensation of shifting the weight. And then we're going to add that bow and arrow. So we're going to take the arms out to the side and then pull. Stick with one side to begin with. I want you to really think about pulling that elbow down and back, extending that other arm up. So you're pulling, reaching. 4 and 3. Good. 2. All right, let's do one more. And now switch sides. So arms come up, switch to the other side. And you're just pulling with that elbow, reaching and pulling. All right, we got 4 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. We're gonna alternate sides. This is where we're gonna go side to side. So you're reach and pull, reach and pull. Good. Shifting that weight, pulling that elbow down, reaching with the opposite arm. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good. Back to that star, arms up, reach those fingertips up. And we're going to go ahead and come into a goddess. So you're going to bend through the knees, bend through the elbows. So for some of you, you may have your feet closer together and you're just going to look like this. For some of you, if you want to get down a little deeper, come down in a little wider. So the goddess arms are kind of how we started earlier. We're pressing those shoulders back and down, all right? So we're turning on a lot of those muscles, and now we're going to tip ourselves over to one side. So you just tip, come back up. Try to tip as square as you can. So your chest is not rotating towards the floor or towards the sky. You're just tipping, working and stretching your oblique muscles all the way up into your lats, which attach right up under your arm. All right, let's do 3 more. 3, 2, last one. All right, let's go ahead and bring those arms down, bring your legs up, and shake them out. Okay, so come somewhere close to your chair that if you need it, you have it for support, and you can pick up a single dumbbell. You can have them both handy, but start with just one. So we're gonna have a single dumbbell, and then you're gonna have your chair handy, so that when we step in front of the chair, you're gonna basically get into your lunge from here, or your staggered stance. You can use the chair for support if you want. But we're gonna do our row press. So we'll start with just a simple row. So you're gonna have this foot anchored to the ground at a slight angle, or you could even be here up on your toe, whatever's comfortable for you. Some people are comfortable having their hips opened up. Others, you may want to have it roll forward. But this particular one right here, it doesn't matter if your foot's rolled forward or not, or flat. But we're going to do the row, so you're going to pull it up and really squeeze that shoulder blade and elbow back, and now row it down. So we're just going to do 8 of these, and if you need to pick up your second weight, if you just don't feel like this is quite heavy enough, pick up that second weight and then do them. All right, so let's go for 6 more. And 5, and 4, and 3, 2, and last one. Set your one weight down, so now you're back to just a single weight. And we're going to do the same row, but now we're going to add a little bit of a pivot. So this is the part where you would pivot your foot down to the ground, roll your shoulder so that your hand is facing forward. And then if you want to add this little additional press up, you just press here, then bring it back down. And then we're going to roll forward again, row it up, rotate it, and press. All right, good. And you can row. So if you're doing the press with me, you can just keep your foot anchored to the ground on this one. Now press up, bring it down, rotate forward, row it up, rotate it, press it up. And you can also be doing this without using the leg. So right now we're taking it here, rotating it, and then straightening out this leg. And you could be doing it that way, or you could be doing it with just keeping your leg bent. So you're here, rotating, and just pressing. It all depends on where you're at today. Or you could be even sitting in the chair right here and doing these. And press. So let's do 2 more. Take it up, rotate it, press it up, and bring it down. 1 more time. Row it, rotate it, and press. Excellent. Let's bring it down, rotate it back, arm to the side, and step forward. Let's come on up, switch sides. We'll get ourselves situated. This first set, you can use a single weight or a double, whatever you did on the other side. Get into your lunge or your staggered stance. And then we're gonna get nice and extended from head, crown of the head, all the way to the heel. You're one straight line. And we're gonna do a nice slow row right here. So you're gonna row it up, squeeze, row it back down. Row it up, squeeze at the top, row it down. Good, let's take it up, and down, and up. 6 more. So it's up, and it's down, and it's up. All right, we got 3 more. Squeeze it at the top. And 2 more. Okay, last one right here. Row it up. And bring it down. Set one weight off to the side. Go ahead and anchor your foot down to the ground. Toes are at a little bit of an angle here. And we're going to go back through that row. So you want to stay up nice and tall. Crown of the head reaches down to the heel so everything's nice and firm. And then you're going to row it, rotate it, and then add that press. And if this hurts your shoulder, you don't have to do the press. We're going to row it, rotate it, and press. The rotating part probably doesn't hurt the shoulder. That's good for the waist and a lot of the core muscles and the hip. But this part right here, if that bothers your shoulder, just don't do that part. Rotate it, bring it back down, bring it up, rotate it, press it up. All right, let's do a few more of these. Really focus on pulling here, rotating here, and pressing here. Lowering it slow, doing all of this nice and controlled. Down, bring it up. We got 3 more. Rotate it, press it, bring it down, rotate, lower it. 2 more. Row it up, rotate, press, bring it down, rotate it, and bring it up, rotate, and up. Okay, let's do 1 more. So rotate it, and row it, rotate, press. Last one, and rotate. Arm comes down, turn your foot, and step forward. Come on up. Good. All right, staying with the 1 weight and your chair, we're going to stand alongside the chair. We're going to work our core and our hip. So your hip and your glute is actually a part of your core. It's part of the stability and tying the upper body to the lower body. So we're going to stand on the leg that's closest to the chair. That'll be your stabilizer. The other leg will come out to the side, and then you can bring your hand up to the shoulder. If you don't want to use the weight, you don't have to. And you don't have to do the overhead press that we're going to do on the second set, but we're going to open this up. This part right here, you're getting a nice stretch. So you want to feel that stretch, that extension right here. Get that nice deep stretch. Now we're going to close up. So we're going to bring the elbow and the knee towards each other on the side, and then we're going to open it back up. Now the thing I want you to think about is that standing leg hip does not sink. It stays up and over your ankle, and you're engaging up through your core, keeping that hip lifted so it's not sinking. Let's open it and close it. And open it and close it. Good. All right, 6 more. Close it up. Open it up. 5. Nice and open. 4. And open. 3, really crunch it right there. And crunch it. All right, 2. Well, let's do one more. Open it here, crunch it up, and open it back up. Good, all right, elbow comes down, set your feet side by side, and now you're going to extend out the other leg. So this is now the stabilizer hip here on the outside. So the hip needs to stay elevated right above the ankle and the knee, not sunk out to the side. So you can see the difference. There's my leg up, and the weight can remain right here on the shoulder to begin with. Get up really tall. You're gonna feel the extension from that toe to this elbow. Nice extension. Now close it up in front. So you're closing it here and opening it back up. Closing it up. Now, for some of you, you want to add a little extra to this. Press that weight overhead right here. Bring it back in. Press it up. When you bring it back in, you bring that weight close to the shoulder again. So the weight comes down, elbow comes down, knee comes up. Bring it in. Bring it up. We got 6. Press. 5. Remember, you don't have to do the shoulder press part. 4, 3, 2. Okay, one more. Take it in and open it up. Good. Let's bring that weight down all the way to the side and go to the other side. So we'll be on the other side of the chair, single weight. I keep having to move my chair because I have a thing that blocks my view. All right, so we're gonna stand up nice and tall. We're gonna anchor our weight on this inside leg. So taking the other leg out to the side. So we want to make sure this hip does not sink. Pull that hip up, engage up through the core, crown of the head's reaching for the sky, weight comes right up here to the shoulder, and open it up. Nice extension, feeling that stretch all through your side here. And now we're gonna close it up. So you bring your knee and your elbow up. Be mindful of that hip on the standing leg is not sinking. Lifting up and out of that hip, crunching off to the side, extending out, crunching it up, extending out, crunch it up, extend it out. All right, we got 4, and open, 3, and open, 2, and one more, and open it up, get that extension, and bring your arm back down. Weight can stay right up by the shoulder. Shifting the weight now onto this other standing leg. Toe is extending out to the side. This is your supportive hip. So no sinking. Lift up out of that hip, pressing up into the core. Crown of the head reaching for the sky. Elbow lifts, toe extends. Feel that nice reach from that elbow all the way to the toe. And now let's pull it up and into the center and open it back up. We do 2 without the shoulder press. So there's 2. On this next one, you can add the shoulder press if you're wanting to. It's a press. When you bring the weight back to the shoulder, curl it in and press. Good. Weight to the shoulder, curl it in and press. Or you can just leave your hand right on the shoulder and extend it open. Pull it up and press. Pull it in, press. We got 6 more. 6, press. 5, press. 4, press. 3, 2, one more. In and up. Hand comes down all the way to the side. Good, let's go ahead and pick up both weights. So we're gonna have both weights. We'll work a little bit on our bicep, tricep. So at this point, if you want to add the step backs and the side steps, you can. Moving my chair a little bit again. We're gonna focus on getting the biceps and the triceps to really fire up. So to start with, get your nice tall standing posture. Elbows pinned in alongside your ribs, shoulders down and away from the ears, and engage your core. Let's just focus on some nice slow bicep curls. So you're gonna bring this up halfway and then bring it up all the way. Bring it down halfway. I want you to really think about those bicep muscles in the front of your arm doing the work and resisting it on the way down. Don't let gravity just take over. So this set's going to be done nice and slow and controlled like this. We've got 4 more to do. And up, nice and slow down. 3 more to go. Really squeeze it. Even if your weight doesn't weigh very much, just pretend like it does. Like go, ooh, that weight weighs a lot. Resist it down as though it weighs more than it does. 1 more time. Bring it up and bring it down. All right, good. Now we're going to do our triceps. So for your triceps, you're going to bring your elbows back. I'll turn to the side so you can see me. Now the key on the triceps are that you keep the elbows down and back. Don't let your shoulders raise up at all. They have to stay down and back. Your elbows stay bent. You can soften through the knees if you would like to. So you can have a slight bend in your knee. You can even hinge forward slightly from the hip, but keep your chest and eyes lifted. Elbows are lifted and then press up. Pressing at the top and then bring it back down. We're going to do these nice and slow and controlled. So you're pressing up, holding for a second, bringing back down. Press up, hold for that second at the top, bring it back down. Press up, hold it for that second, bring it back down. Press up, hold it, and bring it in. A couple more, press up, whew, bring it in, and press up, and bring it in. All right, arms come down, let's do a shoulder roll. Nice big shoulder roll, and let your arms just sink along your side right here. Good, taking a nice big deep breath, get lots of oxygen, especially for those of you that hold your breath during workouts. Always be sure to get your nice deep breaths. 1 more time, this time raise your shoulders up, and now settle your shoulders down as you exhale. Really just let them sink. All right, now let's combine bicep, tricep. So we're gonna do a bicep curl, and then we're gonna kick it back. So it looks like this, you go bicep curl, bring it down, and then you're gonna kick it back. So you're gonna come up, curl, press it back, kick. Bring it up, curl, press it back, kick it back. All right, bring it up. So from the side, your elbows are actually still back just a little bit, even for this bicep curl. So you're pressing. Now, for some of you, you could even add the tap back with the toe. So it looks like this. You bring it up, and then you tap. Then you bring it up, and then you tap. And you bring it up, and tap. All right, good. Now, the thing is, you're focusing on those biceps and triceps at the same time, basically. You're curling the bicep here, pressing the tricep there. All right, we've got 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good, let's bring it down by the side. Nice big shoulder roll. All right, good. And we can set the weights down. And it looks like I have enough time for you to pick up your band. We'll do this one little additional band exercise. So this will be kind of a takeoff of what we did earlier with our goddess and our star. So you're going to start with your feet wide. For some of you, that might just be a little wider than your hips. For others, you may want to go really wide and get your toes angled out. But you have to make sure your knees can go the same direction as your toes. So if your knees don't go very far, then you wouldn't take your toes very far. They have to go in the same direction. I can rotate pretty far open, so I go pretty wide. That just means that I'm able to get a lot of glute activation when I do this and a lot of inner thigh activation. So we're going to start out with our legs straightened out in our star. So arms will come up. Now, if you have issues with your shoulder and the star does not feel good, then you're just going to come down and do everything from this front position. But if you have good shoulder mobility, bring your arms up. If you're out front, just follow along. We're going to bend the knees at the same time. You're going to pull the band down in front of your chest. Now, if you're doing it from a standing position without overhead, you're just going to pull the band out, go back up. You're just pull the band out in front. So I'll demonstrate. This would be if you're doing them out front, and coming back up. And those of you that have no real issues with your shoulders, you'll be doing them this version. So the star down and star up. Good. We're just going to do 3 more. This is kind of a little warm up. 3, 2, and now we have 1 more to do. Good. All right, let's bring it up and then bring the arms into goalpost. All right, so goalpost is the 90-degree bend in the arms, and the knees are bent. Now we're going to come down and so that everything's bent, like you're in a goddess pose if you were in yoga. So from this position, we're going to revisit those tips where we tip to one side, come back up, tip to the other side. Now, if you want to make this a little more challenging, put a little pressure on your hands with the band. So you're actually pulling that band apart slightly and tipping to the side. You're going to start to feel this build up in your triceps and probably your legs because we're doing this in a goddess squat. You're also potentially going to feel it in your back, your upper back. And we're going to do 2 more in your waist. All right, we only have 1 more to do. All right, good. Now let's straighten out those legs, bring the arms down, and we're going to revisit our bow and arrow with this band. So taking the weight and shifting it over to one side, and then we're going to bring our hands a little bit closer together on your band. So you've got just enough space. I think I might have about a foot between mine. And then I'm going to start in my bow and arrow and pull and then come back up. And then pull and come back up. Pull. Let's go for 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Okay, last one. Good. Bring it back up to center. Let's switch sides, arms to the other side. Now softening through the other knee, bending, pulling, bringing it back up. Bend and pull. Oh, my foot's slipping. Bring it back up. And we got 5 more. So squeeze and pull. Wow, there's a slippery spot in my floor right there. 3, 2. We got 1 more. Woo. All right, let's go ahead and bring your arms down, set your band aside, and we're going to take the shoes off and do our balance and stretching. So shoes come off, socks can come off. So for today, we're going to start out by doing our walking forward and back on the toes. So you're going to come up on your toes and see if you can just take a few steps forward and back. So you're going to get up nice and tall on your toes and just see how you do walking on your toes. And then you can either turn yourself around and go back, or you could try to walk backwards. We're just up on the toes. All right, when you get back to where you started, go ahead and lower down and then lift up 1 foot so it's off the ground, stretching that calf. And then set it down, lift up on the other side, stretching that calf. Good. All right, now we're going to see if we can walk the same distance on our heels. So you're going to get up nice and tall, lift your feet, see if you can walk on your heels. Let's go a little ways, and then you can either turn around and go back, or try to walk backwards on your heels, so it's harder backwards on the heels. Whew. Nice. All right, come back to where you started. This time, lift your heel off the ground, bend your knee, and now set that side down. Lift the other, bend the knee, and set that down. Good. All right, so let's go ahead and do a tandem. So we're going to walk again, but this time, put your feet one right in front of the other. If this is new for you and tandem is not in your wheelhouse yet, do it staggered, which basically means you're on like a balance beam that's a little bit wider, like maybe a 6-inch balance beam. And you don't have to touch your toe and your heel together. So first of all, find your nice tall standing tandem, and then take about 5 or 6 steps forward with your feet as though you're on a balance beam. Stepping forward. And when you're ready, when you get to the end, you can either turn yourself around or you can try to take this backwards. So I'm going to try it backwards today. Nice, good job, you guys. When you get back to where you started. Whew. All right, and when you get back to where you started, just come alongside your chair. And we're going to work on a little bit of balance by doing the clock. So we're going to start out with the clock. So the leg closest to the chair will be the leg that we stabilize ourselves on. So stand up nice and tall, lift up and out of your hips, bend the outside leg so you've got a little bit of weight on the ball of your foot or your toe. And then you're going to see how you do by just taking your foot out front. See if you can balance from your 12 o'clock position. And then take your foot out to your quarter hour. See if you can balance from that position. You have to tap your toe down once in a while. It's all right. Take it behind you. That's your half hour. Now pull your foot through center without touching if you can, and bring it back out to 12 o'clock. Good. All right, let's take it back out to the quarter hour and back to the half hour, back through center. This time you can put your foot down and take a little break. So we're going to do the clock again, but on this next clock, just make it as smooth as you can. And it's okay to tap your toe to the ground, but we're not going to pause this time. So standing up nice and tall, take that leg, extend it out front. And then we're just going to rotate around to the back of the clock, back through center, back out to 12 o'clock, all the way around into your clock. Let's do one more time, all the way through, front, side, back, back through center, set it down, switch sides. So we'll do our clock on this side, anchoring down through this inside leg. Get your tall posture first. Make sure you're lifting up and out of your hips so the crown of the head's reaching to the sky, and put a little bit of weight right there on the ball of that foot. Standing up tall. Now let's go up to 12 o'clock. This is our slow set. We come out to 12, we pause for a second, and we're going to go out to your quarter hour, pause. Back to your half hour, pause, bring it through center, get back out to 12. Bring it out to the side, bring it back behind, bring it back through and set it down. Good. Take a little break if you need to like wiggle your hips or your ankles or whatever you might want to do to kind of get some looseness through here. All right, now we're going to do them faster. So standing on the inside leg, nice and tall. If you need the chair, you know it's there. Let's go ahead and do these a little bit faster. Take that foot out front, bring it out to the side, bring it back, bring it through, back out front, to the side, bring it back. One more time, all the way, front, side, back, through, and step it down. Excellent, good job, you guys. All right, so we've done a couple tandem, we've done a couple clocks. Now, my all-time favorite, the tree. So wherever you are, you can be next to your chair or a wall, whatever you want. I'm gonna step back on this side because I'm more comfortable on this side. We're gonna get our nice, tall standing position to begin with. Taking a nice, big, deep breath, reaching those arms up. Now, as you exhale, bring them down to heart center. And just find your focus, anchoring down through your feet, engaging up through your hips and into the center of your body. Crown of the head's reaching for the sky. Let's start by lifting up the leg on the outside. So for me, that would be what would look like my right leg to you. So bringing it up. Make sure you pull up through the core, rotate out that foot. And you can just set it on your ankle if that's comfortable for you, or go ahead and bring it up right in the inside of that calf. And we're going to be bouncing from this tree. So you want to anchor that foot into the calf, pressing it into the calf. At the same time, you're pressing the crown of the head up to the sky. Then you can add your branches to your tree. You could even look up to the sky if you'd like to. You could even close your eyes. And let's go and bring those hands back down to heart center. Step it down. Good. And then we'll switch sides. So taking a nice big deep breath in, reach up. As you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. And we'll lift up through the other foot, rotating out through the knee. You can either anchor your heel right up against your ankle, or you can bring it right up to your shin. And from here, just stand up as tall as you can. And when you're ready, you can add your branches. And once you're up into your branches, if you'd like to look up, go ahead and look up to the sky. And ultimately, you could close your eyes. That would be the most challenge. Okay, let's go ahead and bring those hands back down to heart center and step it back down. Whew, good job. All right, let's take a nice big deep breath. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, arms come down. All right, let's go into a little bit of stretching. So we still have our chair nearby. So we're going to take the leg that's on the outside, bring it around the back, and have your feet as close together, parallel, side by side, crisscrossed as you can, and then stand up nice and tall. So you're going to be getting the stretch on this outside hip. So taking a nice big deep breath, inhaling, reaching up. As you exhale, lean over away from that side, opening up that hip. And if it feels good, you can even rotate your eyes and your chest up towards the sky a little bit. Let's breathe in again, inhale. And then exhale, come back up tall, arm comes down. All right, now switch legs. So we're switching, so the foot will be, this outer leg will be the one behind and crossed back. Standing up real tall, we'll be stretching through this hip, so we're gonna reach up, inhale. And exhale, leaning over to the opposite side. If it feels good, rotate it open towards the sky a little bit. Inhale again. And exhale, arm comes down. Good, all righty. So from behind your chair, we're going to face the back of the chair. And we're going to come up on the heels. So you're gonna lift the toes up. And you're just on your heels with the toes raised up. So from here, you're starting to stretch a little bit into your calves. Then what I want you to do is keep your hands on the back of the chair and then slowly hinge yourself forward. And now it's going to go up into the backs of your legs. So we're hinging forward, keeping a nice flat back, holding here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now lower your toes back down, flat feet to the ground, and bend your knees. All right, so from here, we're going to go down into a little bit of a chair squat. You got your knees bent, chest lifted, eyes lifted. Put your weight back. So see how far back my hips are behind my ankles? We want the hips way back there. And then we're going to look straight ahead. Hold it here. Pull your navel into your spine. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now come all the way up and step back with your right foot. So we're just going to be stepping back with the right foot, bending through the left knee. And now you're going to feel that stretch in that calf. Back there. And this knee stays right above that ankle to begin with. You're just reaching out for that chair. Keep the chest lifted, eyes lifted. And then if you're not feeling much of a stretch in your calf, you can just try to press the heel into the ground behind you. All right, let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring that foot up slightly. So now you're only about 8 inches behind the other foot. And now bend the knee. So now you're doing this little crouch where you're coming down. Don't have to go very deep. If it hurts your knee, don't do it at all. But when you do this, there's a part of your calf that you might be stretching, or maybe into the Achilles tendon. And then we're going to come back up. All right, let's switch feet. So bring this foot back front. Kick the other foot behind you. Let's press that heel down. And reaching for the chair. Chest is lifted, eyes are lifted. Heel is reaching for the ground back there. Pressing that heel down. And let's hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's bend that knee. Bring it back up about 8 inches apart from the other one. Do a little crouch. So you're just bending both knees, coming down. And for some people, it's a great stretch. Other people, you don't really notice there's much of a stretch. It's definitely working some of the quad muscles at the same time. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Good. Come all the way back up. Now, feet back. So now we're going to do a hinge. So your feet are back, hands are reaching for the chair, and then you're going to let yourself sink. So put the weight back in your heels. So your toes have barely any weight on them. The weight's back in your heels. Soften your knees. Let the weight sink behind you as you let your head and chest be heavy. And you're going to start to feel some stretching through your back, your chest, different parts of your arms. And we're just going to take in a nice big deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, relax a little deeper. And again, nice big deep breath, inhale. And exhale, go a little deeper. Good, all righty. So let's go ahead and you can either walk your feet up to the chair or you can put your hands on your thighs. Lift your chest, lift your eyes, and then we're gonna come all the way up, nice and tall standing. Good. All right, let's get our chair so that we are gonna stand next to the chair, but we're gonna stretch our quads. So there's two different ways you can do this. One would be you stand next to the chair and lift up your legs. Some of you have the flexibility to do that. If you can't do that, you face away from the seat of the chair and just put your leg on here like this, and then push your hip forward. So the whole idea is we're stretching the front of this leg. So if you're doing it with your foot up on the chair, I'm a pretty short person, so I can barely do this. Most of you would be up here, and then you want to have that knee in line with the other knee, and then you push your hips forward and keep your shoulders over your hips and over your knee. And then for those of you that have the stability to do it from standing next to the chair, it basically just looks like this. You're pressing your foot or your ankle into your hand and keeping your knees lined up side by side. So we're gonna hold it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring it down. And then you're gonna switch legs. So if you were on the chair, just walk to the other side or just flip your legs to the other side. And you're gonna take that leg, set it on the chair. And then remember, if you got the leg on the chair, the whole idea is to get this hip pressed forward, engage through this glute muscle here. That should feel like a stretch right through the front of the leg here. I'm too short for that, so let me do them from here. And you just have to make sure if you're doing it from here, that your knees are lined up. So in other words, when I say my knees are lined up, my knee's not up here and my knee's not back there. My knees are right alongside the other knee, and then I get my hips forward. So that's where the stretch is coming from, is right there. Okay, let's go 4, 3, 2, 1. Set your foot down. Good. Now take one foot, set it up on the chair, and then you're going to straighten out that same leg. So if this is challenging for you to get your leg up on a chair like this, this can be done from just a standing position. So those of you that have your leg up and you're comfortable, you're going to stand up, get as tall as you can, and press forward. If this is uncomfortable for you, just do the stretch with your foot on the floor like this, bending the back knee and hinging forward like that. So if you're really inflexible and that just doesn't feel good to have your leg up, do the other version. But if you're doing it from the position with your foot on the chair, you don't bend the standing leg. All right, let's press forward with the chest, eyes forward. Nice big deep breath. And exhale. Now as you exhale, let yourself sink a little deeper into this. You're going to actually allow yourself to round your back. Go a little deeper. Nice big deep breath. Exhale. See if you can go just a tiny bit deeper again. All right, now on the next inhale, let's go ahead and just roll ourselves back up nice and tall. And then set your foot flat to the seat. And if you're doing it from the floor and you don't have your foot up on the chair, I'll show you how to do it from there. But you're basically, if your foot's on the chair, you're gonna come forward. Knee stays fairly close to right above the ankle. It can pass past the ankle slightly to midfoot. That heel is the one you wanna keep on the floor. This is the glute you engage. That will help you to stretch all the way up into this hip flexor here. Very important muscle to stretch for those of us that sit a lot, or jog, or walk, or do a lot of front movements. All right, let's hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it back up. And let's switch sides. So set your foot down. If you were doing that and you wanted to be able to do that stretch from the floor, the only way to really do it from the floor is to get into a position like this. All right. And if you're comfortable getting your foot on the chair, it just seems that you can get a little deeper into the stretch. So let's bring the other foot up, straight leg. If you're doing these from the floor, you just have your heel anchored to the earth. Get up tall through the spine, and then toes to the sky. You're going to press your chest forward. So the first part of this stretch is flat back, pressing the chest forward, eyes looking straight ahead. And you're going to take a couple nice big deep breaths. Really see if you can relax into that a little bit deeper. Now on this next breath, you're going to allow yourself to sink and roll forward with your back, just kind of curving out a little bit towards the sky. You're going to go just a little deeper. Take another nice big deep breath in. Exhale. Go a little deeper. Nice big deep breath in. And exhale. All right, and on the next inhale, just slowly bring yourself back up and set your foot flat. And we're gonna come forward. So this knee just stays somewhat above the foot, not past the toes. And this key is engage right here, let that hip sink. Ooh, that feels so good. And hold it from there. Taking a nice big deep breath. If you're doing it from the floor, it looks like this. It's just easier for some reason to get deeper when you're up here because you have more, I guess, gravity, distance. I'm sure there's a reason. All right, 3, 2, 1, bring it back up. Set the foot to the floor. All right, let's come around to the front of the seat. You're gonna be on the front edge of your seat. We're gonna make sure the chair is right there because you are gonna have to sit in it. So don't be too far in front. But taking a nice big deep breath, reaching your arms up, inhaling. And as you exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. And now we're just going to hip hinge forward. That just means you're hinging from the hip. Chest stays lifted, eyes stay lifted. Now you start to let your weight shift behind you into your heels and bend your knees. So now we're going to slowly lower ourselves down into the chair. We're going down into the chair as slow as you can. Maybe make it an 8 count. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now have a seat in your chair. Good. All right. So from the chair, get yourself out on the front edge of the seat. And we're going to sit up nice and tall. And then what we'll do is we'll take your right hand, reach it over to your left thigh. And then, so I'll do it from my left to my right so you guys are in the same direction I am. We're going to sit up super tall. So this is important. You get that tall spine. You don't want to do this from a curvy spine. Nice straight spine, nice straight arm. You're just putting some pressure on the outside of that leg as you get super tall. And then take the other hand, reach for the back of your chair and turn so that your chest is facing the side. And just see how that feels, taking a nice big deep breath. And when you exhale, see if you can go a little deeper into that stretch. Another nice big deep breath in. See if you can go a little deeper, exhale. Good, one more nice big deep breath. And now as you exhale, go ahead and release, come back through center. And then we'll switch sides. So put your other hand on the opposite thigh. Nice tall spine, okay, no slouchy. Gotta get that chest up. Crown of the head reaching for the sky. And now you're going to take that other hand and reach for the back of your chair. See if you can put enough pressure on that outer thigh and grab the back of the chair so that you can just pivot around through the chest. So the chest is facing the side and hold it there. Nice big deep breath, inhale. See if you can go a little deeper on the exhale. And again, nice big deep breath. And exhale, go a little deeper. All right, again, nice big deep breath. And on the exhale, come back through center. Good. All right, so take your feet a little wider. And we're going to take your right hand, reach for the inside edge of the left ankle. So you're just going to slowly take it down, reaching to see if you can reach that ankle. There might be some stretching in your low back, kind of right up in this area. So just reach there. If that feels comfortable and you want to make this a little more challenging, take your hand and put it on the outside of that knee. So now you have your elbow on the opposite side of that knee. And then see if you can just spiral open your chest to that side just a little more. And if this is comfortable, you can also raise your arm up and up towards the sky. If that's not comfortable, just put your hand behind your back. And now let's hold it for 3, 2, 1, and release your arm that's next to your knee or the one that's by your ankle and then come back up. Sitting up tall. Let's take the other hand, reach it down to the inside of that ankle. See how that feels right through this kind of side of your low back. Should be a nice stretch there. If it's not much of a stretch, put your arm on the other side of the knee and then use the leverage of your elbow on your leg to open your chest up a little more to that side. And if you feel like you have the mobility to do it, you can raise your arm up to the sky, or you could just set your hand behind your back. Let's hold it here for 3, 2, 1, good. Release that, coming back towards center, hands on top of your thighs, tuck your chin under, and then slowly from the lower spine, roll yourself back up to a nice tall seated position, sitting back into the back edge of the chair. And one of my favorite stretches, you're gonna have all your weight kind of just resting right into the back of the chair, feet flat to the floor if they reach, mine don't, but you want your feet kind of flat to the floor and your back's on the chair, arms out to the side, reaching those fingertips out, just like we did at the beginning of class. Fingertips are extending out, and now you're gonna take them up overhead. Nice and slow, good. Now let's go ahead and bring those back behind your head. See how that feels. If it hurts your shoulder, don't do it, but it should feel good to get your hands back behind your head. And then you just rest all your weight into the back of the chair and you let your head be heavy. Your hands are supporting your head. Your elbows can go as wide as you can get them. And then just taking a nice big deep breath, resting all your weight behind you, relaxing through your shoulders, relaxing through your chest, and then take another nice big deep breath. And exhale and relax a little deeper. All right, one more big deep breath. And now on the exhale, pull your elbows towards each other in front and then curl yourself down and forward. So one little curl we get to do, elbows towards the knees, chin to the chest. And another nice big deep breath. And as you exhale, go ahead and curl yourself back up. And arms come down by your side. All right, that is it.